Hi, my name is Stacy Silcock, and I am currently the school library media specialist for the Devereaux Foundation in Red Hook, New York. We are an 853 school, and we serve developmentally disabled individuals from the ages 5 to 21. The majority of our students are autistic, but we do have other students with other developmental disabilities. We are primarily a residential program. We have approximately 150 students. About 30 to 35 of them are day students, so they come in on buses every day and then return home in the evenings. I love my position here at the Devereaux Foundation. I love being in the library. I'm a certified English teacher in grades 7 through 12, and I taught that for a few years until my school closed in 2011. So I've been with Devereaux for about 4 years. Now I started out as a teacher assistant, and then I got promoted into the library position, which is wonderful. I see all the students in the school. I run a variety of programs. It depends. There's such a wide ability range in my students. Some are nonverbal and lower functioning autistics, and I have some incredibly high functioning autistics that can really do a lot of things relating to history and science. Either way, I think I provide a good program for my students. They seem to enjoy coming to class. If I'm not in or I am put into coverage in another classroom, they are clearly disappointed when they do not get to come to library. So that is very encouraging. My library currently is very, very small. In fact, as I look around, my kitchen may be slightly larger than my library. I have a lot of materials in a very small space, and fortunately our classes are no bigger than 6 students, so we can usually all fit into the room. We're a little cozy, as I like to put it. But what would my ideal library look like? It would probably be the exact opposite of the room I'm in. It is cramped. I have a ton of information, a ton of books, and keeping that organized in just the tiny space that I have is a challenge. I would love to have a much bigger space to spread the children out if a lot of them don't like cramped, closed spaces. I would love to have a space with windows. My current library does not have windows. I'm completely surrounded between bathrooms, the OT/PT room, and another classroom. I'm kind of tucked into a little corner. So my ideal library would start off with lots and lots of windows and lots of natural light. I'm not fond of fluorescence. I would love to have space for a media center that was separate from the main library, simply because I do have some students that cannot handle computers and they become at risk of being damaged or thrown if someone is having an issue. I would love to have a space that I could put up colorful area rugs, set aside a quiet reading area with bean bags and cushions, so students can pick a book and cuddle up in a beanbag and read. I'd love to have an area that I could keep blocks or Legos for students to play with. Most of my students are very sensory, and I wish I could provide more of that in the library space. I would also love to develop a listening station where students could listen to books on CD or a book on tape, and access it that way. Not all of our students can read. So that would be a great way for them to absorb a book without it being read to them by me or staff. They could have that independence to look at a book on their own. Mostly, I would just love to have a great space for my students. Like I said, we call it cozy in the library. Sometimes I get the question of, why don't you have a bigger space? And I tell them that when they designed the new wing of the building, this is the space they designated for the library. So we just have to deal with it, but we're all friends here and we work with it. So with all that being said, I am looking very forward to this class. I've already had a couple of eye-opening readings that I've been poking around and doing some research, and I'm really, really excited to work with all of you this semester, and I hope maybe we can arrange a time and a place to meet, because it would be great to interact with the people that will be my colleagues someday.